Severed limbs hanging from car trunks, cobwebs lining front yards, pumpkins, candies on sale. Yes, it is the end of October, Halloween is upon us, and as we were sipping on our tea, we realized, much like many other commemorative days, little is ever remembered about why things are happening the way they are, the twists over time, the reasons for those twists, and so many things in between. Nothing scary, just the truth. Grab your teacups. You're listening to Chai Station with Gul, Rumi, and Kazel, and today's episode is all about Halloween hiccups. Hello, Kazel.
Hello, how are you?
I am well. How are you doing? How's Toronto this fine October afternoon?
Getting chilly.
Rumi?
Well, October, pumpkin spice. I don't like it. Chocolate is on sale. I love that. Yeah, fall season. Very pretty colors. Great for a nice road trip. Catch a road trip before, winter hits in.
Well, winter road trips are fun too, unless you die on the way, but it's great. Sometimes you need that snow.
Occasional avalanche, occasional landslides.
Occasional,
all things
car
normal, bear attacks, moose attacks. What is it?
Which
Where
lends
do you
the
live?
question?
It's for everyone who has all these perceptions of Canada. I'm just feeding into it.
You guys are not too far away from Thunder Bay.
Are you gonna give us
And
bad
It
news?
is pretty far though.
Thunder Bay is where literally whoever has passed that point knows that there are moose along the way. There's bears that just come out of nowhere, and
They're
there's always
massive.
mist. Yeah, and there's mist there. So usually when car accidents happen, it's because of the mist, and it's just random bear just walking on the road, doing his evening walk, and bam, a car hits.
Now I know not to go there.
Yeah, or those dumb deers. To be honest, it's the deers that I'm concerned about. At least the bear is like it has a Russian vibes, It just goes you're gonna hit me. A deer is dumb.
Deer.
The poor
deer
thing
are just
comes
deer.
and its head is ripped apart by a car.
No, but it doesn't die. It doesn't die in vain, though.
Wow.
Do you know
we're
that when
on
the cars?
Halloween theme.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but I have to bring in the blood. See, when it does die, right, the deer when it hits the car, you better believe that your car's front, the thing, what's it called, the fender, it's finished. You have to go for repairs because they definitely damage your front bonnet or whatever you call it. They don't die in vain. No.
They don't die. They
strong
make sure they do
features.
damage.
Okay, so Halloween. I personally don't celebrate Halloween. Do you guys celebrate Halloween? I don't know.
Nope.
No.
we
Is it
don't
like a
celebrate.
child thing? Even as a child, I never did.
No,
No,
not
as
even
a
as
child
younger.
I did
yeah.
go once. So yeah, I guess I went once, but it's not
Peer
something
pressure?
I remember fondly. It was just embarrassing.
It was just an awkward end. We didn't.
I was a witch. Am I a witch type? I don't even think so.
I can pull off a
It's
nice witch. To be honest, a nice pointy hat and long robe.
I did
can
have
definitely
a
pull off.
pointy hat. I did.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can pull off a witch. But no, we didn't celebrate Halloween. I didn't find the appeal. My parents really didn't talk about it. As long as I got candy, I didn't really care.
Yeah, we just
And plus,
go by
I
the
found
candy.
it so weird. I found it so weird that you're sending your kids to beg for chocolate and candy at some random people's house.
Strangers.
Exactly, the whole
As
thing.
kids, do not go to strangers. Do not talk to strangers.
Forget that. The one, our Asian 101 that we were taught is do not take candy from strangers. What do you do on Halloween? You take candy from
Dude,
strangers.
that's,
Are you
that's
trying to get
everyone.
killed?
Every person, every adult is going to tell their child, do not talk to strangers, and you're begging them for candy.
For candy. They could poison you.
They can
for
poison.
all you know.
People, have
Oh
you
my God.
not seen
What if that
any...
really happened?
I'm sure some crazy nut job out there does that on Halloween. Who knows?
Wasn't there some sort of like I'm pretty sure it was like probably an episode in some kind of show, like some crime show, where they're like, yeah, somebody poisoned all of their candy bars, and all these children are end up with like some weird bacteria shit, and they're gonna die or some crap. It's like, why would you, just why do you want to go ask people for candy? Like, go ask your parents. Like,
For real.
I sound like a spoiled brat.
I don't know about you guys, but we actually turn off all our lights
We do
Halloween
too.
night.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
no one
because
comes
we
knocking on the
first
door.
of
don't
all,
live in a
we don't
house,
got
right?
candy.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think in houses it's more common to like turn off your light.
Yeah,
Just be
we
like,
first of all
bye-bye.
don't have we don't have candy, and we don't want to give our candy whatever is left
Exactly.
of it. And we also, honestly, let's be real, we don't want to participate in a day which we don't believe in and which we don't agree with on fundamental
Right.
grounds, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, so just let's backtrack a little bit maybe and look at where it all started. Uh, it's we all know that it is a Celtic tradition. I think a lot of us know that it was a Celtic festival
Yeah.
of Samhain, spelled Samhain, Samhain, which is so.
Yes.
I found it so funny. I was just dying. I was like, what is going on? But it is a Gaelic word, so gotta go by the rules, right? So, what people would do is they would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. And this was usually uh, at the end of October, October 31st, and before November 1st. So the text that I've read so far doesn't really specify exactly when. Some actually even said November 2nd and 3rd. So it all revolved around harvest festival or harvest season. I'm sorry, should have said season, not festival. And the festival that happened during that was the Samhain festival. It was believed that the barriers between the physical world and the spirit world would break down during Samhain, allowing more interaction between humans and denizens of the other world. So, basic history on that. Also, apparently, people would harvest during this time. So, after the harvest, they would go join the Druid priests to light a community fire using a wheel that would cause friction and spark flames. The wheel was considered a representation of the sun and used along with prayers. Cattle were sacrificed, and participants took a flame from the communal bonfire back to their home to relight the hearth. So it was very symbolic in that sense. Of course, there was also some twists in that there was a lot of gluttony involved, lots of feasts, lots of drinking, crazy dances, that kind of thing. Which kind of speaks to modern day celebrations of Halloween too, if you think about it. But we'll obviously come to that later. We'll talk about how Halloween is portrayed on, for example, Instagram or social media in general and what it has become now. But before that, let's look at maybe the different versions of Halloween in different countries. So, Kazel, do you want to speak to that maybe?
So, where Halloween is celebrated and who celebrates it. So, going back, like you mentioned, Gul, that it originated in Europe, and basically the immigrants in Europe brought it over to North America. So we have places like United States, Canada, who now celebrate Halloween, and they have different traditions that include, costume parties, trick-or-treating, pranks, and games. And versions of the holiday are basically different everywhere. They're celebrated, depending on their culture, and their own festivities. So in Mexico and other Latin countries, it is called Dia de los Muertos. Anyone want to correct me on the pronunciation?
I believe that would be Dia de los Muertos.
Okay, I know that's
Not
better.
not a Spanish person, but
Okay, it's all right. So it basically means the Day of the Dead, And what they do is that they honor the deceased and their loved ones and ancestors. So it's more of like a festival rather than kind of making it spooky or going in that realm. So it's more of a festival, and I think it ties into the Mexican culture.
Right.
Yeah. So outside of the United States, people celebrate basically Halloween in different ways, such as like Ireland. If we talk about like pumpkins today, it actually came from the Irish culture where they would actually like carve out creepy faces into the turnips. Unique.
Yeah, just very unique actually. Imagine meeting that first person, whoever he was or she was, who came up with the idea of grabbing a freaking like turnip or pumpkin
Pulling it out of the ground. Just
with
going
the
like,
intention
I'm gonna carve a face.
pulling it out with the intention of carving it, not eating it, carving it. Oh my lord. Like what?
Wow. I can't imagine the other people's like faces, what they're like looking at it going like,
But they went
Okay.
along with it just fine, so
They did. I mean, we have pumpkins now, they're bigger. So yeah. And here they should light a lantern in it too. I think they do, right?
They do.
put lanterns
Yeah.
in them. Yeah.
Yeah, they put lanterns in it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool stuff. So anyhow, other like countries like Italy, they basically tie it to the Italian commemoration of the dead. So they're also kind of talking about the dead. And actually in Italy, like it wasn't a big thing. Halloween was just like it. I guess they kind of pulled it from like when America started making it a big deal. That's when Italy kind of added it to their tradition. So like if you go to Italy today during Halloween, you will still see people like kids running on the streets, but like I haven't read that the kids go trick or treating like in America, but they do have like the festivities
right.
and decorations like on their shops and
Mm.
stuff. So they do celebrate some aspect of it. So I guess it depends like again from country to country. Now, for example, Portugal, the kids do go trick or treating, and it is a big deal. But another thing that was interesting with that, kids go and ask for bread.
Bread.
So
in
I don't know.
this is in Italy?
Yeah. This is in Portugal.
Portugal? I would wow, interesting because I would think
Yeah.
Why bread?
Italy and Rome
I'm
is
not
where they
sure.
would ask for I would think they'd ask for bread because they're bread capitals of the world. Bread and cheese and all that. But interesting.
Yeah.
You would never have
Yeah,
thought.
so-
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's better than candy.
It is. Good for your teeth. Dentists
Yeah.
are
Hell
happy.
yes.
Uh-huh. Great. Let's see if their economy is booming. But anyhow, yeah, so anyhow, now talking about countries that don't actually celebrate Halloween, they're France, Germany, Holland, Taiwan, Austria, Australia. Australia was surprising to me. I thought they would.
Yeah.
But they don't. And an interesting thing is that Australians still do the whole like during that time they watch like scary movies and like
Which is
eat
I
their
think
little
I would
lollies.
think that's part of the American influence through
Maybe.
Hollywood, right? So I guess that the remnants of that would stay in it all over the world because America is so into popular culture all over
Yeah.
the world. But yeah, it's very surprising. Australia, you would think that they have similar ways.
And then obviously, yeah, like the Asian and African countries don't.
Hmm.
So yeah, and like I was mentioning, many European countries do not celebrate Halloween, and like there was this I came across someone who actually said that in Sweden, like you go into the store here in America or like Canada, and you see like everything is Halloween, like good 2-3 weeks before Halloween, you will go in and you will see pumpkins, you will see like all the like costumes are there and like the decorations, everything, candy, everything is there. But in like Sweden, they're like there's like the tiniest little section for Halloween. So I guess yeah, like it depends on where it's like the country and like where it's celebrated.
Right.
But yeah, that was interesting that they don't have that. And so I actually wanted to bring back like one part talking about like the Mexican festivals and like costumes. So in Mexico, basically they have costumes that are more festive in general when they have their festivities. But even during Halloween, their costumes are really, festive and bright and colorful. So it's not really going towards the spooky side versus like in America, we see now that, like kids and everyone, like they're wearing like costumes that are more spooky. And I don't know, maybe it comes from where does it come from?
I believe Rumi was speaking to that a while back when we were discussing this. Rumi, do you want to build on this?
Yeah, so interesting stuff. The Pagan religion, so the Samhain festival, right? Even though it was focusing on the harvest offering, making sure that the harvest is going to be good the next year, it is the day where they believe that the dead is crossing over into the living. Now, there are some myths that, along with other dead that don't really care about doing anything, there are some monsters that are going to come and kidnap you and steal your soul away. Now, some of these monsters we actually heard, and we've we've incorporated them. Yeah, I know, right? But some of them are interesting because we've incorporated them into animations, into our life, but we don't know where they actually originated from. One of them is the Dullahan. He is the headless horseman carrying his head in one of his arms, riding a pitch black horse with eyes of flames. You have the Lady Gwyn, headless woman in a white dress with a black pig. There is...
Have you ever seen a black pig, by the way?
No.
Never.
Is it like a boar? But like I'm thinking something like a pig, but like a chubby pig, but it's black.
That is...
It's a dead pig.
That's just...
It's a dead pig.
A dead pig, maybe like the blood is just taken out of it and is just bloodless, therefore it's not pink. Anyways, that's a tangent.
It's not pink. It's rotten. Yeah, it's rotten. It's falling apart.
Disgusting.
Okay, yeah, we're just making it way too creepy. So the other group, there's the fairy host, which is actually a group of hunters. They're the ones who are said to come and kidnap people. Similar to them are the slogs. And they not kidnap people, but they enter your home and they steal your soul. So, bad stuff.
Oh, okay.
Protect your soul, people.
They just be straight up going for the soul, like not the head, not the heart, not the brain, just the soul. Interesting.
Yeah, they don't mess with any of that stuff. Yeah, none of the gory shit. They just go straight for your soul, in and out. Yeah, nice stuff. And I guess the main one concerning their harvest would be this creature called a puka. I think I'm saying it correctly. I'm not sure it's pronounced.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
A bad word in Russian.
To me, it's a Pokemon character.
It sounds like a bad word, okay? But it's spelled Pukah, and it's a shape-shifting creature. But that's where all the harvest offerings are supposed to go to. So what do people do to protect themselves from these monsters? Well, they would dress themselves up as some of these monsters or some animals so that these mythical creatures won't mistake them for humans and steal them away. So I think that is where the origin came from. Now, I don't think the people today, they believe in these monsters coming from the dead and taking you.
They don't even know about it.
I mean, even if people are kinky enough to want to like get stolen away by like this headless horseman, I can understand it, but it's not gonna happen. It is interesting. It's fascinating to dress up as a monster, and I think they find the fascination in that. You want to dress up as something else. It's the one day where you get to be something else, and people dress up as things that they admire, monsters from stories, characters from TV shows. There's so much room for creativity.
Yeah, I think the TV shows play a big role today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, there is definitely, and I think that's where it's it's fun. If I'm being honest, it is quite fun. If you're watching something, if you really enjoy a franchise, you want to take part of it. And normally in day-to-day life, you won't be able to do it. People would think you're weird, and there's going to be a lot of room for misunderstanding. But Halloween is the one day where you could do something bizarre, and people would be like, Halloween. Understandable. Yeah, you're killing somebody. Understandable.
Just have your own costume.
It's a very
parties.
human.
Yeah.
A very human thing to do.
Yeah.
No, but isn't there like masquerade balls and all those? There should be one for like just dressing up as whatever.
That's Halloween.
True.
That's what they've made Halloween into.
I guess, yeah, that's what Halloween is. True. Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so talking about the contentions around it, and like different viewpoints, I don't know, they could be religious angles. What do you guys think about Halloween and that?
Religious aspect. Religious wise, strictly speaking, no one would be celebrating it. I mean, a thought came to me while I was researching about it, and the whole idea about appropriation was coming in, and it got me thinking. This isn't our religion. It's not our tradition. Yet we've made it our own. Is this in any way an appropriation? If the North American are taking something that's not theirs, but they've adapted it in such a way that it becomes theirs. Are we even allowed to do that? I'm not sure, but
I think
really,
the North Americans want to take everything.
Yeah, I mean, how would appropriation look like in
Yeah.
this sense, though? Like, let's take an example.
okay.
Um, what are we looking at?
We're looking at, let's take the example of just culture. So some people get offended from the culture wear. So if somebody's, say for example, Indian culture, right? Indian culture has saris. Saris are very significant. Like if they someone's think Indian clothing, saris come to mind.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
personally, I wouldn't be offended if somebody else is wearing it properly. I don't really care. But if somebody is wearing it and they're changing it according to how they want to wear it, and it doesn't look like a sari anymore. There are certain values that you attach to it, a certain way that you're supposed to wear something, right? And when someone changes it, it offends you because it's like, who are
Mm,
you asking before you changing it like this? It looks great on
yeah.
you, but why are you changing it? If you're going to wear something from a culture that's not yours, do it exactly how it's supposed to be done.
Actually, this is a very good thing you bring up, Rumi, because we're talking about the Indian context. I'll just go back a little, back to the times of colonization, when the British first invaded. I want to say invaded India, and they started taking over all the traditions and changing them. Making everything English. Um, the one of the first things they did was they made sure that the clothes that leaders would wear, the clothes that landlords would wear, were passed down to servants, and the servants would wear what the landlords were wearing. So, the turbans, the those fancy shirts, those very heavily sewn together shalwars, those kinds of things. Those were passed down to the servants just to demean the whole concept, demean the idea of royalty, right? Um, so it was one of those tactics that the British used, and I think that was probably the height of appropriation, I guess. Um, but if we were to bring that concept into Halloween, right, and talk about how costumes can be demeaning to a specific culture, I think the same would apply, right? Um, if someone's wearing, I think there was actually an incident, I think, where someone in a school in Brampton, actually Ontario, wore the Sikh turban on Halloween, and yeah, and they were saying, like, out loud, the person was saying, "Oh, this is my Halloween costume."
Oh, tough
Uh,
move.
yeah, so that kind of thing where you demean, in a certain way, you demean that culture,
Mm-hmm.
uh, in a playful manner. That's even more like disturbing, I think.
Okay, so in that sense, you're saying this wouldn't be appropriation because they're not trying to demean the value of what these costumes used to be. They're almost expanding on it.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if we were to take this concept of appropriation, what is appropriate, what is not appropriate, how far can you go? I think this is a good place to bring in the idea of how you would explain such things, such events, such questionable commemorations, I guess, to your kids if you were to belong to a certain religious group. So, as Muslims, I know a lot of Muslim families do not want their kids to be involved in Halloween or costumes and candy collection and all that for many reasons, but there are specific reasons, right? Religious reasons, principle wise. How do you think we as Muslim adults could maneuver through that conversation with our kids?
One of the reasons why we don't want our kids to celebrate Halloween specifically is because of where it originates, or maybe a lot of people don't even know where it originates from, but we have a general idea that it's not our holiday and it's not celebrating something that we should be celebrating. So, what's actually wrong about it is just the whole purpose of where Halloween started. And not to mention that it's really, really weird too. Go beg for candy.
Yeah, I ain't letting my kids do that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Don't beg,
it's very
just
weird. Yeah.
ask me, I'll go
You
and
want
buy you a bunch of candy.
Yeah, happily.
It's on
I'll
sale
go.
too, right?
I
It's
It's
know.
on sale, yeah.
I think I can afford it.
Yeah.
All those caramel and Kinder chocolates. I'm coming. But so what's really so is dress up wrong? Dress up isn't wrong. I don't think so. Is eating candy wrong? Candy? No, I don't think so. So what is it that's attractive about this event that's making kids yearn for Halloween to come? Well,
Everyone
sure.
around them is doing it, you know?
yes, but
Basic human need to be
To
heard
be
and
like
seen.
everyone else. And if
Yeah.
you don't fit in, it's just going to make your child really uncomfortable in that setting. Like if your child, let's say like in the school, you have like a Halloween party and like they expect your child to go in and like dress up and like also bring candy or like do something. How are you going to explain to your child that maybe today's not the day you go to school, or you can go to school but not participate in it? But how does the child not participate when their whole class is, being involved in that? I guess it is a little complicated, but like it also makes me think like, other people don't celebrate all our like festivities and our religious events. No one celebrates it. No one says anything. So I guess like you have to like explain that to your child that this is not our festival. We don't celebrate it. And there's, nothing wrong about that. The same way those other people don't celebrate our events, we don't celebrate their events. And you just have to like take it out of that context and then try to bring it in a sense where for example, like I think I mentioned this to you guys, like we have Valentine's Day, we have all these like, Mother's Day, and it's like on that day I need to be kind to my mother, give my mother flowers. Valentine's Day, I need to go give my, partner, my lover, like flowers and do a special event. But it's like, I can do this any time of the year. It doesn't have to be that one day. And I feel like for Halloween,
Okay,
it could
let
be the
me
same
let me
thing.
be the devil's advocate here.
Okay,
Hold on.
be one.
You can't just wake up one day and be like, okay, today I'm gonna be spooky. Today
Yeah,
I'm going to
true.
be wearing a Dracula outfit and I'll
That's
have
true.
blood dripping down my freaking lips.
But I don't
like
think that's something pretty and nice to even like, I don't know, let your child do.
that's your opinion. Let's ask your gothic neighbors that.
like I do find it interesting. If I were given a chance to dress up as a character, I probably would. But expanding on what Kazel was saying, so beyond like explaining to your children, like this type of holiday is not what we celebrate. Then what is the holidays that we celebrate? As Muslims, we have Eid is one example. For Jews, it's Hanukkah. For Hindus, it's Diwali. We need to make these events very joyous, give it as much importance as people in North America are giving importance to Christmas or to Halloween. What makes it so fascinating? That there's an entire theme around it. Everything that you see around you is related to that theme, that fall theme. You have the spookiness, like the spookiness and stuff. And for Christmas, it's the same thing, right? There are certain things that come on sale for Christmas. It's nice and festive. So for your own celebration, for your own festivity, we need to be more creative. We need to create that theme where our kids are engaging in it. So when they have experienced that joy, they know that, yes, on Eid, for example, on Eid, we have decorated the entire house. We have like the theme colored balloons. We have the a grand feast, we are meeting up with their families, it's very memorable and they become strong in their own festivity. So when these other festivals come around, you can just give them the chocolate and they will understand like when our festives come, we will spend our energy and our time with our family and doing all of this with the people that we love. But this is not one event that we participate in. And they can respectfully, they'll understand more beyond just saying that this is not something you should participate in. They can feel that they'll be comfortable knowing that they can sit this one out. But for that,
Yeah.
there has to be a replacement in their own culture, religion.
But I feel like, okay, let's say like if I was living back home or like in a Muslim environment, they actually do have like these like pre-Eid get-togethers, these pre-Eid festivities, all these things. Like, the markets are filled with like clothes and decorations and all that. And when I would say like if I was living in that place, I could take my child out and really feel that. Versus here, the children don't see that. So I don't know. Maybe it's like
Yeah,
need for our culture, people
I
around
get
us
you.
to
Yeah.
like
we definitely
make
can't.
Eid more
Yeah.
festive. Like
You
even
have
in our
to. We have to
neighborhoods.
realize. Yeah, we have to realize that we're living as minorities in a
Right.
majority,
Yeah.
culture. So that comes with its cons, of course. But other than that, other than the idea that we have to stick to our traditions and not let our kids be so involved in things that we don't really believe in, right? Other than that, we have to, as as simple, good, principled human beings, realize that a lot of it has been commercialized,
Right.
and a lot of it
Yes,
has
very
been,
much business.
Halloween is very absurd nowadays if you think about it. It's been sexualized to no end. Uh, Instagram models, the way they portray Halloween. Marketing is all about the very graphic, the very gory, the very inappropriate for kids kind of angles. So, how is that so normalized when it is an event surrounded by kids and for kids and for families? It starts off at something as innocent as candy giving, and then it turns into this. Like, it really puts lots of question marks.
It does. I think like when it comes to like Halloween being commercialized, I would say like today's social media, for example, like you take a simple costume, like, or let's say, give me a costume, please. I don't know any character.
Dracula.
Lumberjack, but you know what I mean.
Oh my god, lumberjacks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Cool,
but for real, okay,
lumberjacks.
going back, like,
Scandalous.
let's say Scooby-Doo, okay? Scooby-Doo's like a fun costume for kids, okay? They could just put an overall on and be a little dog or whatever. But you
That
go
just
look
sounds
at
so inappropriate, but okay.
okay, but whatever. You get my point, right?
I get
you
your
had
point.
Dracula, you
Yeah,
had a
so-
nurse, but sure, Scooby-Doo.
I'm talking about TV shows, right? Like,
Okay.
Let's just say-
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
so you go to these like websites like ASOS or any other website, right? They're selling Halloween costumes, and Scooby-Doo is like that, like a little, there's like a bralette of Scooby-Doo, like, just that, like a little, like, weird tail hanging out, and
Yeah.
it becomes inappropriate, like, is this Scooby-Doo? I'm sorry, I haven't seen Scooby-Doo like this, have you? Like, I haven't seen
So you
Scooby-Doo
mean like a
this ever.
sexualized version of a children character?
Yeah, they're turning it into a sexualized costume
Very kinky.
where it doesn't need
Kinky
to be.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a fun costume that now, like, you see on
For
Instagram,
adults?
someone's wearing it like this. Yeah, well, I guess
I would
this
not
is the
want to
adult
see. I would not
costume.
want to see Scooby-Doo sexualized.
Or like,
please.
I've recently seen
memories.
like made Cinderella into like this
Oh my god!
I don't know
think
nighttime gown that I don't want to talk
Mm.
about. Like
that
Cinderella
Jasmine.
was not this. But yeah, like my point is that I guess like for children, these are innocent characters that they see on on the TV, and they're just watching and being like, I want to be like that. But in the markets, they're promoting a whole different side of it, and I guess you're right, an adult version of all these, I don't know, innocent, I guess, cartoons and things that people watch. But
But it
I don't
begs the
know.
question: is it wrong?
It's
innocent.
inappropriate. Rumi.
Inappropriate,
It's
yeah.
inappropriate.
It's inappropriate for children.
Yeah, if this was a purely
It's
adult
inappropriate for adults
function,
too. Why do you want to use a cartoon and be an adult
I
version of
mean-
that?
I mean, okay, Hazel. So let's look at it in like, in a more liberal way. Let's
Fine.
look at it in the sense that if
Because these
If-
costumes
if-
would be worn in a party where other people are okay with this.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way I'm
exactly,
thinking about
you
it.
can't. But no, but I get Hazel's point because this
It
whole
ruins
thing.
our innocent memories. It
No,
ruins
yeah,
our
it's
childish
like
memories.
I believe 90% of people view it as a very children-based festival, okay? And when parents decorate the house, they do it for their kids. When they decorate the backyard, the front yard, when malls do the decorations, they attract kids. It's not for adults. No, it's not. But
Yeah,
if they
but
wanna
when we
do their
talk about
thing, they can do their
Instagram,
thing.
It's for
Yeah.
adults, right? Like the whole Instagram Halloween thing, it's all about what I'm talking about. That's how people
yeah,
dress
but who
for Halloween.
and who is their audience? It's kids.
It is kids, like
Oh,
teenagers.
I
Like,
see.
They're
Yeah.
looking
Okay.
at Instagram that way. I guess that was my intent. It was not like being too rash on these people. They can be.
I mean,
their
I'm all
adult version.
for I'm all for bashing them. It's all good, but
So
Yeah.
it's a problem when our influencers are wearing the sexualized version that are
Mhm.
mined
Right,
across the
yeah.
line without keeping in mind that their actual audience is about like 14, 15, 13.
because
Right.
keep in mind these are the same influencers that your teenagers are watching them for their makeup tutorials. So
Right.
Right.
what makes someone think that they would not also look up to them for these other reasons?
Right, right.
A very kinky costume or something. I don't know.
And there are some people who are just known to have that vibe on their Instagram, and that's what they promote, right?
Hmm.
And there are still like young children watching them, but I just think making a more fun event or whatever you want to call it, festival that is initially for children,
Mm-hmm.
but making it into something else in the Instagram world or in the modeling world or whatever you want to call it, right? Making it into a little bit more inappropriate. I would just say it's
More
a little,
like worse than PG-13.
yeah, yeah.
So you know what? Imagine, like, next thing you know, you have these freaking adults coming to your door asking for candies. What the hell are you gonna do? Seeing them in these costumes and then they're begging for candies too?
That's why you
Like,
keep
hell
your
no.
lights off. You barricade yourself. You disappear.
Tell the grandpas to turn their light off.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's such a great opportunity for some murderer to actually pop up at your house as a murderer and you wouldn't know.
I
He would
know.
just
I
be
can't
like-
believe I have not seen headlines about this.
I know, right? Like a guy just has to pop up with a knife and all he has to say if things go wrong is, "Can I have a candy?" Or kill you. Like what?
Okay,
Anyhow,
Kazel, don't.
need to
I
make
mean,
a movie
Ruby,
on
don't give
that.
ideas, please.
I know, right?
Or
Serial
who knows?
killers.
Some serial
stay
killer
away.
is listening to this podcast. Serial
Yeah.
killer, if you're listening to this podcast, please tune out right away.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Talking more about the absurdity or whatever you want to call it, Halloween and marketing tools. It's another big thing. Like we were talking about before, Halloween is like promoted, or like any other festival, they start talking about it, they start bringing things to the market 2-3 weeks, a
Pumpkin
month before.
spice.
Yeah, pumpkin spice, but I wouldn't say it's fully Halloween, but okay,
But
fine.
bro, no
pumpkin
one
spice.
drinks. No one. You would never go for pumpkin spice. It's disgusting. I don't understand why people like it. But it pops up on
Yeah.
Halloween and people drink it, and I don't know why.
I think that's more of
Yeah.
like a fall thing, but okay, I guess it's mixed with.
I guess.
guess fall and
it is
Halloween is
fall. Yeah, they're
intertwined.
kind of interconnected. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then another one's like makeup brands and even like clothing lines, video games are all like, promoting Halloween before it's even here. Like, I don't know if you've seen, but like recently there was like Kylie Jenner who was basically revealing her makeup line, and she was like in head to toe, she was in blood. And I was just like,
Wasn't
wow.
she
What the
naked?
heck?
Didn't you say she was like completely
naked
naked?
and in blood. So both. And
Okay, I feel
You
very
know?
out of touch because I didn't even hear about that. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess I'm into the makeup world, but
I heard something about a swimsuit gone wrong with Kylie Jenner. I'm not sure. Girls trying new things.
yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like in general, like the marketing tools are a bit much. You know,
Mhm.
like we're just like really making it.
But then again, when money comes into something, it does become a bit much
It
anyway,
does,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. When you say the moment money just walks into something, that's it. You know that it's gonna just cross all limits.
The motives change.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a good conversation, I think.
It's a good kind of.
Yeah, I think it was interesting
Yeah.
to say the least.
Interesting,
Came
to say
upon
the
new
least.
facts.
Yes. But I was just before this recording, I was actually reading, or not reading. You don't read a pamphlet, you look at a pamphlet. I was looking at a pamphlet from Bulk Barn. They have a sale on candies, so y'all best believe I am going to Bulk Barn
Oh,
after
gummy
this
bears.
and
Send
getting
some over.
some
Maybe
halal
like
gummy
those jelly
bears if I
shots
can find them.
without. Like, where? By the way, it popped up like when I was thinking candy. Do you remember those big jars of jellies, but not with alcohol, like halal jellies? They're like these half circles. They have these little seals on them. You would see them in like, I don't know, supermarkets, like Indian supermarket, Asian supermarkets, halal meat shops.
Girl, if you say Desi stores, tell me the name. I will know it for sure,
I
100%.
wish. It's jelly. They're like a bunch of jellies in this one big box, and each jelly is
Okay.
packed up individually. Like they're like a half circle.
Okay, and it's half a circle?
It's half
Yeah,
a
I think
circle.
I've
It's
seen
like a
it. I
cup.
think I've seen it.
It's like
yeah.
a cup,
And is
it's
it in different colors?
so artificial.
Yes.
Very artificial.
I think I've had it. Yeah.
I love that.
It's actually,
stuff.
I am pretty sure it's 50% plastic and 50% jelly.
I don't know what it is. It
but
tastes great.
it was good.
It tastes great.
It was good. Yeah.
As long as it tastes good. Doesn't matter what you're taking.
I know.
in.
Just put a bunch of them in the fridge, and then like when you feel like it, you just get this shot of jelly, and my God.
Oh my God. Bless,
Ugh,
bless.
I need that right now.
I know.
You know what I really love though? Maynards. Maynards, the fuzzy peach ones.
Okay.
All
I like them
right.
sours.
They're halal, first of all.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
And this is not a promotional podcast, but I'm just
We
saying.
don't even have
I
sponsors.
yeah. Maynards, if you want to sponsor us, please,
Yeah.
here's the three of us, quite broke,
I
with lack of equipment.
Or Sour Patch Kids, if you ever come up with a halal line, hit us up.
Yes, please.
Yes. Anyways, I think this was a great conversation. Time to wrap up. And make sure, Rumi, you buy your daughter some candy and send some us our way too.
Buy my daughter some candy. Maybe me first and my daughter. I'll think about it.
No, she's not an unselfish mother at all.
Not at all.
No. What do you mean?
Nope. No. Okay, my green tea is cold.
And I do need to go as well. My coffee is waiting. It's
Yeah,
downstairs
me
and it's
too.
cold, so
Why is your coffee 2 floors apart from you? I don't understand.
I forgot it downstairs.
Anyways, so that's it.